This tutorial video will go through the post-process tools within Cortex. Within post-process mode, you can find the post-process toolbar listed just above any displayed data view. These buttons indicate tasks that can be completed within Cortex, within cleaning or analyzing data. Commonly used buttons are Quick ID and Marker ID for marker identification, creating a template, and then identifying and extending the template through a rectification, exchanging markers, being able to join markers in either a linear, cubic, or virtual join, calculating a virtual markers, which can also be done in the marker set properties window, along with making a marker unnamed or deleting unnamed markers, along with a rectify button for unnamed markers as well. If any given task is not displayed, we can then go ahead and select on the two buttons pointing to the right, and then select our PP or post-processing tool button. This brings forth the tools which would allow us to set the smoothing aspect within the motion capture data if you choose to smooth the motion capture data. Right now, the default is set to a Butterworth filter, which is at a 6 Hertz pass. And then a 3-point average and a 5-point average can also be adjusted within the smoothing aspect. We can validate any joins within the templating process by selecting or unselecting this button, along with the rectification parameters within the identification process. This allows the linkage stretch parameters to change based off of what is set here. 15 and 12 are the factory settings for to reconsider and the max acceptable, respectively. So these are commonly used items and not recommended to change much off of that unless you have a lot of stretch or movement between markers. Moving over to the search button, we then can search for gaps, spikes, and big accelerations within one marker or all the markers within our list. We can change the amount of size of the movement of marker. So if we change this to 1, we don't see any different display within that marker. If we then go ahead and display to 0, we then can see changes within the marker location, which are indicated within these carets here. We then can also adjust that for the max accelerations or the minimum accelerations, and see a different pattern is then displayed as well. Setting these back to 4 and 6 would be the default settings within Cortex. Cortex also allows the undo of commonly used buttons or post-process tools. So we can select Z, which would be the hotkey for undo, which would then go back one step within the post-process task selection. In this instance, please be mindful of the tasks that you are doing and undoing, as this can change and affect what has already been completed within Cortex. So please be mindful by checking the status bar in the bottom left-hand corner. Moving over to the next button within the settings menu, we then can find the tool strip options, which we can display the icon and the text, which is displayed here, or we can simply just display the icon or the text only, but it is recommended to display both. Listed just below that, we then can find other buttons that can be added or removed within Cortex. RB join and linear join are two options that are not typically displayed but can be added in and saved into the Cortex setup file. Other features can be added here as well, as you see that not all of the buttons are selected. Moving over to the last button, we then can find the Kin Tools RT button or tab, which then would allow us to filter ground reaction force based off of a spline and a spline order of 3, which is the default setting, or again, a Butterworth filter that has a 6 Hertz frequency. If you have any other questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to our customer support team at support@motionanalysis.com for more questions or concerns.